My name is Steve. Welcome back to my shop. First thing I want to do is apologize for not being around. I think the last video that I shot was in January, and I had a very eventful winter and early spring. I've started shooting videos a couple of times and then got waylaid, and I have no excuses. However, back in March, beginning of March, I had cataract surgery. And finally tomorrow, which is April 24th, I go in to get the prescription for my new glasses. And to be quite honest with you, the glasses that I'm wearing right now are loaners from the eye doctor's office, because I couldn't see with my other ones. And I just haven't felt real comfortable working on the machinery out here in the shop. My eyesight, the range of vision wasn't great. My distance vision is fine. I can read great without my glasses on, but that 18 to 24 inch range that I am in working on machinery just wasn't real great. So the little bit of machining that I did get done took me a long time. And that would be the subject of this video. But before I get into that, I want to shout out to James P. at the Shed Shop. And James sent me a collection of shark stickers. He got them somewhere. He doesn't know where they came from or how he got them, or why he got them, but he ended up with shark stickers, and he knew as soon as he saw them that he would have to send them to me. So I really appreciate it, James. I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but I will take a close-up and we'll show them shortly. Back in February, I was doing a search for an ER40 collet chuck for my Atlas 10-inch lathe. And Shars makes one, and I looked it up on the Shars website, and you had to buy the chuck and the adapter separately. And it was reasonable cost, and I've had very good success with the Shars products, and I'm pretty happy with them. But I've also found that if you go on to the Shars eBay site, sometimes they got a better deal. And so I went on to the Shars store in eBay, and I found the chuck with the adapter for the price of the chuck alone. And I think it had free shipping also, or something along that line. So I actually put it in my cart. I didn't pull the trigger on it. But you know, if you look at eBay, very often at the bottom of the page it'll say, people that purchased this item also looked at or purchased such and such an item. And on the bottom of the page was a 5C collet chuck, and the cost of it was very reasonable. It was the 5C collet with the adapter, and I really wasn't interested in purchasing it, but I looked at it. Well, the following day I got an email, because they look at everything you're doing on the internet, and I got an email for an offer for a chuck at a discounted price of for the chuck and the adapter, and it was just a bargain blow away price. And I said, oh man, that's great. And I bought it thinking I was buying the ER40 collet. As soon as I hit the sell button or the buy button, I realized I had just bought the 5C Collet chuck set. And I thought about it. I had an opportunity. I could have backed out of the sale. I said, the heck with it. I've got size 5C collets. As a matter of fact, I had just purchased the Edge Technologies 5C collet chuck stop because I had planned on using the 5C collets for another project, and I thought that the chuck stop would be a good thing to have. So I got it, and I started machining it, and I'll go into that in a little bit more detail as I'm machining it. And that's when the eye vision problems started to rear their ugly head and so on. So finally I got out in the shop and got it finished. This is the box that it came in. This is by no means a review of this chuck. It's just a piece that I ordered, something I've always considered, and I'm going to show you how I put it on. So let's get started. First thing I need to do is take the chuck off my lathe. I've got this locking mechanism that was 3D printed by one of my viewers, and that makes it much safer to lock up the headstock in order to take the chuck off. This is the backing plate that was supplied. I'm going to try it on here. This has got quite a deep recess in it, so the first thing I'm going to do is to thread this on backwards and remove some of that recess. I'm going to take about 1/4 of an inch off of this. I think I got it working now. I changed out my cutter And this one doesn't take quite as much pressure. I'm having to take quite light cuts because I just can't keep the belt from slipping. Now, this is going to take quite a while, so I'll bring you back when I'm making my last cuts. Got my belt tightened up and I'm able to get a much better cut, and I'm getting a great finish on it now. I'm just about finished up, a couple more passes and I'm going to quit. I've got the shoulder down to about where I want it. Just some tough stuff. Much better, a great finish. I think I'm going to take it off, turn it around, and see how the shoulder works. But before I do that, I'm going to cut a chamfer on the edges. Okay, that's pretty good. I got to take it apart and clean the threads. I think it's jamming up on the threads. Okay, I got it nice and tight now against the shoulder. I had to end up using the boring bar on the adapter and just clean up the inside a little bit where the thread started, and now it's nice and tight. So let's put the collet chuck on it and we'll see what kind of runout we have. Okay, the adapter is semi-finished, which I found out what that means. And this register is actually about 30 thousandths too large, which is fine because that way I'll be turning it to make sure it's concentric with the lathe before I put the chuck on. But before I do that, I want to face off this surface also, make sure that that is also concentric. Okay. Now I'm going to cut down the register to match the diameter of the chuck. Okay, the chuck measures 3.731. And I am currently at 3.7 48. That should do it. Okay. I went a little bit undersized, so I can tap that around to true it up. I'm going to install a 3/4 inch 5C collet in here. I'm putting a piece of 3/4 inch precision ground high-speed steel in the chuck. I've actually got 2 pieces of this that I keep just for setting up, as it's all right. Okay, I've got my dial indicator hooked up. I hope you can see that. Okay. I left the screws, the mounting screws, just snugged up. I spent a couple more minutes off camera tapping the chuck around. I've got it now down to a little less than 1,000th. Let me zero that out again. Hope you can see that. And I've got that down to about 5/10. And I've taken it out and put it in a couple of times, so it is repeatable, at least with this collet, this setup. So I'm pretty happy with that. Well, that's going to wrap up this video. I also want to thank Mr. Pete Tubal Cane for a shout out on his channel. He was doing a series on the Unimat lathe, and I happen to have a collection of accessories for the Unimat lathe I had no use for, and I sent them off to him, and he featured them on one of his videos, and I picked up probably 125 new viewers. So thank you all that have subscribed over this past couple of months, even though I haven't been posting videos. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate the subscribers that have stuck with me through this time. I'm hoping that I can get some videos on a regular basis. One of the things that he mentioned on that, and I just want to clarify a little bit about the precision ground stones that I put together. And I am still doing them. I have an Etsy store where you can purchase them and all the information that you need on them. I will leave a link to the Etsy store in the description of this video. Thank you for visiting my channel. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.